my dad owned a McDonald's when I was a kid. And I was a hardcore carnivore until my dad was told when I was 10 that he was going to die within 5 years if he didn't change his ways. And then we moved back to Montreal because we had moved basically to an industrial town in Quebec, and it was an aluminum-smelting town. Like, this was pure pollutants. I was ingesting pollutants from pretty much every corner. My parents were big time into disinfecting the whole house and and lowering all our immune systems as much as possible by over-sanitizing. It was the way of the 80s. And then when we moved back to Montreal, I was probably about 10, and we had completely switched our diet. My dad's Greek. We went for a full Mediterranean diet. It was like steamed vegetables and fish 5 days a week. And as a kid, going from buckets of KFC to that, I was not happy about it initially. But then when we were in Montreal, I think it was during that time, for me, I was 12, 13, that I started taking in messages around what was happening in the late 80s, the acid rain. At the time I was a bit more, I think, of I was worried that I was never going to go outside as a 12-year-old and have my hair turn green and my skin fall off, and that's what I thought acid rain would do. And I remember pretty much the only channel my dad watches is the news to this day. He only watches news channels, and so I would sit down with him, and to watch TV, you had to watch news. And so as a 12, 13-year-old, seeing what was happening with Exxon Valdez and seeing the seabirds get smothered, I didn't realize there was a world outside of my door, really, and I didn't realize there was anything really going wrong outside of my door. And then all of a sudden it happened at a very young age, where I started realizing, okay, it's not all about what's happening in the, in my backyard in Montreal. There were a lot of bad things happening in the world, and what can I do about it? Well, my parents weren't going to let me go down to Alaska and watch seabirds, but I did start picking through their garbage and making sure they were recycling properly and all that stuff, shaking off the coffee crumbs from their, the paper that they had put on in the garbage in the wrong container, and that, to me, is when it all started. And I guess it probably snowballed because my older brother, who, I guess he was, I was 12, he was in his late teens. He started working for Greenpeace, and he started working at a health food store, and he was bringing home all this material from Greenpeace to me. And I was just, enthralled. I started putting up the posters on vegetarianism and learning, all about why I shouldn't eat meat. And that's, I think it all snowballed from there. And I started becoming more of a hardcore activist at that time and started going to protests, and all my siblings pretty much became vegetarian at the same time. And it was like a family affair.